Yo, what's up? What's up? I believe this thing is on. Let's see. Every time I gotta check. Because sometimes there's two buttons I have to press. I don't see it yet. Hello? Can you guys hear me? It says I'm live, but it's just black on my screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. I believe we're live now. Let me know in the chat. How's the audio sound? We're still on the same compressor setup from last week. Oh, I did the audio echo again. Yes. Okay. We're good. What is up, folks? Welcome back to another one of our weekly broadcasts. This time on a Friday, once again. Still kind of switching up the dates. Just seeing what works. Audio sound like normal? Sweet. I hear you. Beautiful. What is up? Click in the chat. Is that Brian? How's it going? What's up? Scotty, how's it going? Made it for a few minutes before flying this job. Hell yeah. Doing more drone stuff. What's up, everybody? Today, we're just hanging out as usual. Answering questions, all that good stuff. Talking about the car a little bit. I have a prop today. The little miniature Tucson. If you guys didn't see, it was almost a year ago at this point, but I made a video titled like, I will never abandon my first car, something along those lines. And I got this little scale model of my Tucson. And at the end, I cut the back off of it as a little teaser for what my plans are eventually. So this is what it'll look like one day. I have to update it now because the fenders are cut, the headlights are cut, the grill's cut. So I need to do some work on the miniature to make it line up. Which I don't know how accurate it is underneath if I start chopping away at this thing, but I like to kind of visualize my modifications. Like I did this to visualize what it would look like as a truck, like proportionately. I think it looks pretty cool. You should get all your possessions in miniature. Yeah, do a scale model of my studio at this scale, whatever this is. I think it's 1/16th or something like that. Does that sound right? Really enjoyed the new injection molder vid. Hell yeah. That was a good one. My longest vid on the channel. I had fun making that one. Where'd you get a Diecast Tucson? I think these were like dealers had these as like little demo models of all of their different cars. So I believe it was from a dealer, but I bought it on eBay. And it was kind of funny when I bought it because the one that I found, these things are like a couple $100. Like most of these were $200 or $300. I got this one for under $100 because it was a little screwed up. It was gold, which was cool because even though my car was stock gray, I had painted it gold or like tan sand color. So it was the right color for mine. And then it was missing this headlight, which is why it was so heavily discounted. And it's funny because when I bought it, there were two headlights on my car. And then during the process of making the video, one of my headlights was broken. So I feel like this is like a voodoo doll for my car. Whatever happens to this thing ends up happening to my real car. It's kind of funny. Hello, am I late? No, sir. Been going for 5 minutes, maybe. Reminds me of Simone Yates Tesla pickup conversion. Yeah, that thing is sick. That is much more cleanly executed than I'm gonna do because I don't have a budget. But I will do something along those lines for sure. You mentioned Mad Max style, so now you have to go full Mad Max. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. I was just talking to Michael, my roommate and fellow filmmaker, I guess. I don't know if I'm a filmmaker, but um, I was just talking to him about like how much do I make car videos in the future? Because like I feel like the core of my channel is like the studio stuff and the camera stuff. And like if I made a bunch of videos doing different mods to the car, it would kind of get same-ish. Like it's always interesting doing different projects in my studio because the studio is such a like weird backdrop, but with car videos it's all just like filming in the yard. It's like more boring looking. So I feel like they would all be kind of the same. Like if I made a video next week of doing a custom crash bar like bumper grill thing, it would kind of feel the same as this week's video. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna just work on the car off camera for the most part, and then when I do something big like chopping the top into a truck, that'll be a video. That's the goal. As insurance in case you're ever shrunk in a science experiment. Yeah. I should put one of those tiny little model V8 engines into this thing so it runs. That would be awesome. Scale models of your cameras and lenses. Funny enough, you mentioned that. I do have a scale model of a red cinema camera. There's a company that made these. It's a half scale model of a red V Raptor, which is a camera I will never be able to afford or never really want to own necessarily. I don't want to own something that expensive, but this is just an aluminum block. Like it doesn't do anything. It's basically a paperweight, but it's so sick. And the way they made these half scale miniature lenses is they used C-mount threading. So you can stick other C-mount lenses on this little miniature. Let's see if I have one. It's a CS mount, but it's the same thread. So, boom. Now it's got a little CCTV lens on it. Isn't that fun? So I could put this on a camera, even though it does nothing. It's just solid aluminum. But yeah, this thing's dope. I bought this because they did like a limited run, and then I think there were some like B grade ones that they offloaded on eBay. So I got this one for like $50 on eBay. But the goal with this was to rehouse a Sony RX0 into this thing to make it a functional half-scale red camera. But it's just the wrong size, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Mod a sensor into it. It would be sick. One man's trash is another man's doppelganger car. Exactly. Voodoo car. Indeed, this is the voodoo car. I had my lens in it in the thumbnail. I think that's kind of funny. Film a little bit of all the mods and throw that into the big mod videos. Yeah, that's probably what I should do. Do like a touch of filming, because I do like to document stuff, even if it's not for a video. The car is an interesting one though, because the car, I like to just get in the zone and work on it, and yeah, I don't film the car stuff as much because it's just logistically harder to film that. Like when I'm in the studio, it's pretty easy to get different shots because I just move the tripod from here to here or whatever, adjust the lens. But when I'm filming such a big object like a car, it's a little more cumbersome to film the whole process well. But maybe I'll do more like point and shoot kind of stuff with it. Put it on the second channel or something, or on the website. I don't know. I love small solution / mod, so supercut style is a nice idea. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing today. For stream. I guess I'll do the director's commentary on the Tucson vid at some point. I went live with no plan today, as usual. I feel like I had something to talk about. Oh, P.O. Box. I said I was going to have a P.O. Box this week. I don't yet because somebody was telling me, and let me know if you know anything about this, but I was told that USPS post boxes are not the way you want to go, and they won't hold packages for as long if they're oversized. And like realistically, I'm going to be picking this thing up like once a week, so I don't know. Let me know if any of you have experience with like opening a P.O. box for this kind of thing, and should I go FedEx or something. But I'll try to have that for next week. No promises, but yeah, I don't have a P.O. box address this week. Any updates on your tabletop game? That has kind of taken the back burner for the past month or so since I've been setting up this studio. But that's a long-term project that you will definitely hear about. It's actually, I have it pulled up on my thing right now. I just got the next playtest version of it, the next beta. So I just need to craft up some images for that, send it off to print. So yeah, I finished all the text for it. I just have to render images. But it's getting close to final mechanic wise, and then I just have a lot of graphic design and stuff to do. But there will be a lot of content about that because lots of like miniature making and that kind of stuff for the little figures, and even all the art is going to be somewhat like 70s sci-fi practical effects style stuff. Like all the artwork is going to be claymation-y. Whoa, it just got really dark. Wow. Must be the clouds. It's kind of a vibe. Where's my ISO? There it is. We're just gonna roll with the darkness for a second. What's the sewing machine in the back? Looks like a Singer. It is a Brother embroidery machine. I think 2 weeks ago on the live, I did a little testing of it. I just bought it on Facebook Marketplace. Man, my white balance is mega off now. And the second I adjust it, it's probably gonna get bright out again. Still off, but whatever. Yeah, so the goal with that embroidery machine is to do hats, which I've been talking about for weeks and weeks now, but that'll be a thing for sure. Those will be up on the website once those are done. I think I found my blank finally. This thing is like a heavy canvas kind of hat. I'm waiting for it to wear in to see if I like it, because I don't like a structured hat as much, but once it wears in, I think it'll be this will be one of them. I also got like a one that's made of like recycled plastic, which I think is pretty cool. And then this one's like canvas, super durable. So that will be embroidering hats. That's what that is. Honestly, UPS box 10 times better than a PO box personally, just because the hours were better for when I did get a package. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in consideration. The other thing with it is like the USPS ones, I had to pay, at least for the smaller ones, you have to pay for a year up front, which I don't really have the cash for right now, instead of month to month. So yeah, we'll see though. I'll have it open in the next few weeks for sure. What's the plans for the embroidery machine? The hats for sure. I think I'm gonna start off by doing like a dozen, just a very small run, see how much people are interested in them. Yo, it's Bevman time. What's up, Jurian? Good to see you here. It is indeed Bevman time. I feel like I have more stuff to talk about with the car. There's so much coming with the car. I don't know how much of it will be on main channel videos, but I'm really trying right now to hold off on buying things for it. But it's like when you get in the zone on a certain project, all you want to do is keep going with that project. So like the other week when I was, and now the light's coming back. I really need to fix the lighting in here for streams. When you get in the zone on a project, like the other week, I was working on the speed booster, and then I was like, oh, it's time to get back to all the camera stuff. Like there's so many camera videos I have coming. And then now that I'm working on the car, all I want to do is keep working on the car. My next step is to buy like a tubing bender from Harbor Freight. It's like $200, so I can't really justify it right now. But I'm gonna bend up a bunch of steel tube and make like a custom bumper and grill crash bar thing. Because right now the car isn't, like, I'm not exactly comfortable driving it with no bumper. I could just put the bumper back on, but it looks goofy with the new headlights. So like the goal is full Mad Max, custom fabricated bumper and everything. When you sell the hats, do you think you will be shipping to Europe? Possibly. I think so. I have to check on my website how that works. It'll probably, like, realistically, yes, but it'll be more expensive shipping. That's just the reality of it. How you been sleeping? Random question. I'm a morning person, but I've been on night owl hours recently, which is not good for me. Not the move. I get way more done when I'm working in the morning, but it's just so easy when you're in the groove with something to stay up till 2, 3 a.m. Keep working on it. So I'm trying to correct that. Shipping to Canada? Yeah, for sure. That's not too bad. It's just extra customs forms and stuff, but it's not extremely expensive. I used to run a little business where I did ship worldwide. Oh, and now it's dark again. Cool. I should really put this thing on auto ISO, auto white balance, but I've said that for the last 2 weeks and I haven't done it. But yeah, I used to run a business that I did ship all over the world. And so I got a good sense for, although that was like way pre-COVID, I don't know how much worldwide shipping stuff has changed since then or if it's all bounced back to where it was. But I did a lot of like Australia and Italy, and those were like expensive. Like I would ship a small package to Italy and it'd be like $50 or something. So it might not make sense for the hats, but I will offer it. What up, Ans? Good to see you here. How's it going? More stuff about the car. There's so much to do on the car. And I wish I could, I'm not going to make a car video every week, but I wish I could, not that I, once I get in the groove with the camera stuff, it's like, I do probably enjoy the camera stuff more, but right now I'm in car mode. I'm in Italy right now for vacation. Damn. That's sick. Pretty good dude, shot 8mm all day, and now I'm seeing a Broadway show. I gotta go because it's starting, but wanted to stop by and say what up. What up? That's dope. I'm excited to see your 8mm results. Yeah, so next steps on the car are fenders, because the fenders are rough looking right now. I'm gonna do just get some metal plate, some cheap metal plate, and do little fender flares so that once I get bigger wheels it'll look nice. Custom bumper is big, and then custom roof rack mounts. I think I talked about it in the members video on my site, but the roof rack was mounted on the stock roof rails, which were like pretty shoddy, kind of worrying. It's all made of plastic, which becomes like pretty brittle because it's a 15-year-old car. So the only thing holding the roof rack on was like a bunch of brittle plastic, which I didn't love. And then the other thing is like the roof rack was like this, like mounted here to the back. And once I chop the back off, it's got to be up here. So it'll get shortened. It'll be like this right here on top of the cab. So I need to fabricate up some custom mounts, which shouldn't be too hard. I was going to do that today actually, but then I got distracted working on other stuff. I was just at my buddy Chase's house. He's a big coffee guy, big coffee hobbyist, and he just got a super nice espresso machine, like this open source espresso machine that runs on an Android tablet. And so it'll measure every single factor of your espresso shot as it makes it, like the pressure, the flow rate, everything like that. And there's an addition that you can get that's like this smart scale thing, and it'll weigh the output of the espresso shot as it comes out. And so we needed to make a custom bracket that wraps from the scale underneath the machine up and over the drip tray. So I fabricated up this like metal bracket with drainage holes in it. Pretty fun process. Super random project, but so I was over there working on that. We got it to a pretty nice point. There will probably be a little point and shoot vlog on my second channel of that at some point. I also did 2 espresso shots during the process of making that, plus a cup of coffee I had this afternoon, so I'm wired. When you ship the car, will you be shipping to Europe? I took the car off the website. There was a Hyundai Elantra. That's the video. That's the car that's at the end of this week's video. If you haven't seen it, the one that I call a gas-powered flashlight. I put it up on the website as a joke. But if somebody had bought it and paid the $2,500 or whatever for it, I would have brought it anywhere in the US, but it's gone now. You missed your chance. I'm fixing it up like properly, not my definition of fixing it up that I've been doing to this car. I'm fixing it up properly, and that's going to my sister. So she needs a first car for college, so I'm fixing that up. Coffee is never random. True. Just it's hard to explain the thing that I was making because it's like this custom bracket for a scale on a smart espresso machine. Really weird, but it's sick and it works pretty good. So I'm psyched about that. Are you going to the tent sale on Saturday? Yes, sir. For anybody in Indianapolis, Robert's Camera, one of the coolest camera stores that I been to. There was a pretty big camera store in Cleveland, Dodd Camera. They exist in Chicago too, is their other location. They're really good, but the used selection at Roberts here in Indianapolis, it is the place to go. They run Used Photo Pro, the website that's based here out of that location. So they have an insane amount of used cameras and lenses and stuff. Super sick. But every year for their anniversary, they do a tent sale where all the stock that they weren't able to sell for whatever reason of all this extra used stuff, they just put it outside, basically do a yard sale, and everything's like way cheaper. It's all stickered at $2, $5, $10, and I go there and just pick up a bunch of random lenses. There's a couple things I'm hunting for. They have a lot of like sick cases for like old film cameras, stuff like that. Actually, the case that this model car is sitting on, I got from Roberts the other week. Gotta adjust my lighting again. I should just start streaming after the sun sets or put something over my windows. But I got this sick little case, super premium feeling. And it's got this inside. It stores film slides. Oh. So it's like these nice little notched racks. So I could put little dividers in here. I think this is gonna live on my desktop and store like all my pens and all kinds of little tools that I use frequently right here. So I'm excited about that. And they have so much of that stuff. Of course, as soon as I adjust the ISO. Let me try. Can I do auto ISO in log mode? No, I can't. There's no auto ISO. Unless I switch my settings. I'll just have to keep manually adjusting it as the sun goes in front of and behind the clouds. Oh, just lost a wheel on the Tucson. Oh no. This one needs a frame swap too. What was I talking about? The tent sale. Yeah, so I'll be there tomorrow morning. If any of you are in Indianapolis, come through. So I'm on the hunt for cases. I also got these RE film cases that say do not X-ray Hollywood photographic materials. I got these at the tent sale last year for $10. I got 2 of them. That was big. So more of those, and then I'm also looking for an old like TV camera with those super long super zoom lenses, because I want to mod those. I want to mod one of those onto a different camera. That's what I'm on the hunt for. What up, Grant in the chat? Handheld filing cabinet. Exactly. Yeah, it's like a tiny filing cabinet. And it's like a carry case, so since it's all my like frequently used tools, I can take it on the road, which I'm psyched about. I've seen Coffee with Chase today. It's funny you're talking about him today. That's funny. Did it show up in your recommended, or did I? Or I posted it on my second channel, I think. Yeah, same guy. Same guy. What was I talking about? I'm all over the place. I had several espresso shots. And the camera's doing funny things again. Yeah, what else about the car? So I cut the grill. I did the headlights. Custom bumper crash bar is coming. Custom rear bumper as well. Fenders. And then the big step from there. Prepping for the chop top. My goal with this is to have it in a really cool state, like custom pickup truck, fully by Open Sauce next year. Who knows if they'll accept me or not, but the goal is to have the car as an exhibition at Open Sauce, as like this fully custom pickup truck thing. And I'll mount up like all sorts of vices and crazy tools on the back, have it be like a mobile repair shop, something like that. So the big step for that, while it's still a unibody before it gets the drivetrain swap, is I need to weld up like a roll cage type thing behind these seats here. So full framing here, and then I need to run bars from that down to the shock mounts in the rear, and then reinforce all the sides of the bed, and then custom bed bottom. That's a whole endeavor. Lots of metal required for that. I can't use scrap metal there. It's got to be good grade stuff. Lots of welding. I'm going to get good at welding between now and then. There's going to be a bar. Yeah, I should just put like a keg tap on the back of it. That'd be sick. There's definitely a coffee issue. Maybe. Yay, made it. Greetings from Norway. Loving the content in the workshop like a mirror image of my own. Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Man, this lighting conditions is quite annoying. I was thinking about putting up like some kind of custom shade thing, because I bought like giant canvas moving blankets for my last apartment when I had the giant windows. I never put them up, but I was gonna block out the light, and so in the winter, like not as much cold would get in. In the summer, the sunlight wouldn't all come in and raise my AC bill. And I think maybe I'll use some sections of that and just like put it behind this whole desk thing to just like fully cover this exterior wall with like a canvas drop cloth type thing. Um, but I don't know. I do want the natural light. I just don't want it when I'm streaming. Replace your window with a light. Don't sweat the white balance too much. Film stock comes in daylight or tungsten mix. Light is decent. 4800. Yeah, it ain't too bad. Would probably be good sound dampening as well. Yeah, 100%. Man, there's just so many projects I need to do in general. I'm in car mode, so I'm thinking of all the stuff I have to do to the car, but there's a lot of stuff in here as well. Just the other day, this wasn't here last week, all the paint cans and wood stain cans up there, that's fully stocked now. That was empty last week. Behind me here in the closet, I moved a bunch of stuff from storage. So now like most of my possessions are in this room. I just have to like build some more custom shelves and unload this stuff so it's actually organized and accessible. What else did I do in here? The other spray paint shelf over there, which no way you can see that from here. That's all stocked now, so feeling a little more homey, a little stocked in here. But I need like a new workbench. I need to do my like Murphy bed thing over here. There is a lot of sound deadening in here though. It sounds way better in here than it did when I moved in. There's no way I can like show it on this camera angle unless I move my monitor. But maybe. Can't see it, it's so dark. But this whole wall, sound deadened. All that foam paneling. Beautiful foam paneling. So yeah, it's shaping up in here for sure. Hey dude, your new place looks awesome. It looks really cozy, much cozier now. Yeah. The lower ceilings and more controlled lighting definitely helps. And it is more square footage, like objectively wall space. I have more wall space than I did. But that's definitely like kind of part 2 of the move-in video is probably coming soon. Because I need to build another desk, another shelf for sure, and then maybe like a Murphy bed type thing. And I have to stock this whole wall of tools that doesn't have any tools on it right now. Sounds good, like there's no noticeable echo. Yeah. Like, it doesn't come through on the mic probably, but in person, like, you know, this week, instead of like, I used to have to talk directly into the mic, but now I've got more of a compressor on it because there's just no room noise in here now that I can get away with that. Part 2, cutting your whole finger off. Yeah. Or cutting the tip off a second finger. Yeah, no, I'll avoid that. I'm trying to get better about the safety stuff. You know, like every video there's always people that are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. It's like, believe me, I know. I know. Watching all the footage back, I am immediately aware of all the stupid stuff that I do. It's just in the moment, you know? Especially filming yourself. Like, it's a different zone that you're in compared to just doing it without filming. And so it's like, it's hard to stay in the right zone and stay safe. But I'm getting better at it. What's the widest your lens goes? This one's a 10 to 18. So that's how wide it goes. You can see most of the room. Yeah. It's my streaming lens for the most part. Streaming and ultra wides in the studio. What compressor do you use? It's not, I need an analog one. I want to have an analog one. It's just whatever's built into OBS. Love the modability of the setup build. Have you seen anyone else talking about how to build a setup like that other than Nice Stats? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could recommend somebody. Nothing's coming to mind. I still have 3 shots of espresso brain right now. You can't repair your finger with wood and a couple screws. Well, I hope you don't. If I did ever like lose a finger or something, I'd totally make a custom thing. Tube compressor. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. For now, it's all digital. But yeah, I'll do more videos about the studio shortly, because like all things considered, like it's looking nice in here. Like I can film in here and I don't feel like it looks boring, but it will for sure be like, I think we're like 60% of the way there coverage wise, but like I want there to be basically no walls in this space that aren't covered. Like even this space above this doorway here, like I can use that for a couple things. The closet can be better utilized. The door will have acoustic foam on it, stuff like that. There's plenty more to do. So studio update soon. More camera videos. I haven't decided 100% what next week's video is. I know like 2 weeks ago I was like, okay, this is the schedule for the next couple weeks, but working on the car kind of has me in a different zone. And now I kind of want to do more of that, but I also kind of don't want to make another video about the car. I think likely it'll be a camera rig video. Title will be like the spare parts camera rig. Kind of similar to, no, because I've never made like a fully rigged out camera video. And so this will be like me making use of parts and extra stuff that I don't usually use and making something work. So I think it'll be a camera rigging video next week. Also, update, I guess. Not that I don't think I hard committed to Tuesdays as the upload day this season, which is why I've been a little more flexy with it recently. I've just been trying different days, seeing what works. This video did a lot better day one than they usually do, posting on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday. So I don't know. Don't necessarily expect videos on Tuesdays, but they're definitely weekly. That's the goal going forward, because some videos take shorter, some videos take longer, so it'll just be roughly 4 a month. Not like a specific upload date. Unless I get ahead enough that I can just schedule them for the same time every week. That's a possibility. I'm gonna get the DBX 286S compressor. I'm gonna Google that. DBX 286S? I really don't know anything about the compressor market. Oh, this thing looks dope. Yeah, I should get one of these. Something like that. One day. One day. Because I love being able to do stuff fully analog instead of any digital effects. Just for whatever reason, the tactileness of the knobs makes me like... Because all the compressor settings are a mystery to me. But if they're real knobs, then it's like, okay, I know where this one's supposed to be, type thing. The doorway space is a prime shelf location. Totally. Totally. This is supposed to be just like a regular closet, but for me, it's just like storage room. Hey, I saw you in Scott Eugen's iPad Macintosh build. Yeah, I've been in 2 of them now, which is crazy. I need to, I'm going to do a video on the CRTs at some point, and I'll probably put him on the screen as like a throwback. Like he puts me on his screen, I put him. Yeah, I need to do that. Um, yeah, I was so surprised when I saw that. It's always so weird seeing like other creators that you've watched for a while like interact. Like working with Miscast was crazy. Just today, a couple hours ago, Colt Kerwin put me on his story. He's making a custom wood adapter like my speed booster was. Um, he put me on his Instagram story. I was like, what? This is crazy. It's always cool. Um, do you have any designs or ideas for what the hats will look like? Yeah, so I used to wear the Canada hat all the time. This is Canada, and then it's got all the flags of the different United Nations countries. I'm gonna do one like that that's Rust Belt, and then it's got all the flags of like the Rust Belt or Rust Belt adjacent states. Although I know like not everybody would want that, obviously. So the other design that I'm for sure doing is kind of just like a basic text looking thing, and it just says like "We haul scrap wood," something like that. Um, just trying to design stuff that like I legit want, and we'll see if other people want them too. Maybe a third design on launch, but I think those are the two. Um, Eventually, the Copilot logo or Clabo logo, whatever the name of the board game ends up being. Eventually, that'll be a thing, but I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody right now because the game isn't out. So a little logo cap like that too, and maybe more. It depends on how many sell. I'll probably launch with the Rust Belt and the Weehall scrap wood and see about those. And then, if they sell well enough that I can stock a couple, I totally will do more designs. Give me the Rust Belt. Hell yeah. That's my favorite one. That's probably the one I'll end up wearing a lot. And then I'll do different blanks for them too. So like the Rust Belt one will be this blank, which is like a heavy canvas kind of structured thing. Super like rugged hat. And then the Weehall scrap wood one will be a different kind of blank. I haven't decided what that's gonna be yet. It might be this blank, which is a little bit softer of a material, and it is recycled PET, like made of water bottles they pull out the ocean and stuff. Similar look. I don't know how many colors I'm gonna offer. Maybe just the one off the bat. Maybe two of each design, so 4 SKUs total. But the Weehall scrap wood will be on the recycled hat because it kind of fits. It's on theme, recycling old materials. I eventually want to move back up to the Rust Belt. It's a cool spot, other than the rust. First time here live. Hi, what's up? What's up? Good to see you here. Do you ever have trouble with filming anxiety? I want to film more videos, but I always think that won't be interesting. No one will watch this. And I have to do it perfect or not at all. I absolutely used to. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things like, I mean, I said it in this week's video is like when you're trying a new thing, you just have to accept that like at the start you're going to be bad at it. I mean, I've said that kind of thing in a lot of videos before. And that's just the reality of it is like I made videos that I didn't even post publicly for years. Not as consistently, like maybe I would make 1 or 2 videos a year or something like that, or there'd be little spurts where I make a couple videos in a few months, and I would just make them, see what I liked about them, what's good, what's bad, and I would never even post them. And that was like honestly a good way to like get good at talking to cameras or get confident in it at least. Because yeah, I was a very reserved person in general. Talking to cameras was not like a natural thing for me. But you get better at it. It's just a practice thing, really. My recommendation, I guess, is just start talking to cameras like every day. Don't post it anywhere, but just recite some thoughts, watch it back, do a little edit, and see if you can get it to a point where it feels like conversational and natural. You'll get over the sound of your own voice, all that kind of stuff. The only solution to that is to accept the feeling and just film anyway. Exactly. And it doesn't have to be good off the bat. That's the other thing. Don't give up because you're not good at it, because you're not going to be good at it at first. That's how you got to learn any skill. I would love a hat with a design similar to the Yeezy Gap hat featuring flames that go from the brim up to the top. Not sure if that's something you can do though. Yeah, I can't do that like solo. If I sold enough, that's totally something I would love to do. Is like fully, because I'm buying blanks from other companies and then embroidering them myself. But it's like if it got to a point that I could do 500 units or whatever the minimums are for these companies, then I could do like a fully custom design where like if you want to embroider on the brim at all, you have to do that before the structure gets sewn in. So it's not something I can do after the fact. But if I can get to that like 500 minimum order quantity level, then I can. And then I can do fully custom designs. But at this moment, what I can do, I have these bookmarked. I can do, I'm not going to leak any info on this page, am I? Stuff like right monitor, like this. So if I bought a pre-made blank, I could do stuff like this, or like this is one I was looking at. It's kind of crazy. So I could do more eccentric designs like that, but it would be somebody else's pre-made blank. And so I don't exactly control how those designs go. But eventually, if I sell well enough, I can do that. But yeah, I love that kind of design too. I love the brim embroidery. So sick to me. So that's a goal. That's a goal for sure. But we're starting small, just simple one color designs. And I'll amp it up from there. What else? What else? What were we talking about before? Yeah. Yeah, those designs are sick. I might do one on one of those blanks because I love the flame hats. I don't know where I put them, but I have like a bunch of NASCAR and like crazy designs that I like. It just feels like those normally, the ones you buy, are like dad cap, like low profile ones, which I don't like. They fit my head weird. So I want like more of a trucker cap style of fit, but with the like racing kind of embroidery on it. Morning from South Africa. What's up? Is it morning there? It's 7 p.m. here. Ooh, I wondered where this was. Just found my Menards rebate in my pocket. It was raining like crazy last night. It was storming. And I thought I put this on my porch and it blew away. And I was very sad that I lost my Menards rebate money. That's a whole $8.37 that I would have lost. But it was in my jacket pocket. Huge. You should sell a patch that we can sew onto shirts and other items of clothing. That's a good idea, actually. That is a really good idea. I was thinking about, because it would be easier for hat embroidery on a machine like this. It is easier to stitch a patch and then stitch the patch onto the hat. I don't like that look as much for hats myself. So I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing patches. But I didn't think about just making patches for other stuff. That's a good idea. And that kind of goes with the ethos of the channel. It's like something that you buy and you have to stitch it onto something else yourself. That's cool. I may have to do that. P.O. Box update. Was just talking about it. a little earlier. I had it set up at USPS, but I'm hearing the word on the street is that USPS ain't the way to go for PO boxes. I don't know if anybody else that wasn't here earlier has any input on that, but I've heard UPS boxes are better for the kind of stuff that I'm doing. So, yeah, hold up on that, just based on maybe switching which one I'm going to do. Because I don't want to have to like change the address later and then update the descriptions of all the videos and then live streams are out of date or whatever. So I want to make sure I get a good one. Never had a PO box, so no idea. Me neither. The other thing with the USPS ones was like for the smaller boxes, you have to pay for the full year up front, which is kind of steep. But I'll figure it out. It'll be up here soon. I know I said I was going to have it, but I do not. Soon though. What's up? Michael played the Seinfeld thing. Yeah. I was just joking. I'm glad you did that. What's up?
Okay. Thanks, don't stream. What's up, chat?
It's Michael. The lighting is like so shoddy here.
It is a little shoddy exactly where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Get some more light. Scooch up closer to the table. Although it does get way hotter in here.
It does. I think that's...
When that light is
I
on,
need a...
it gets... Audio did not like that.
They didn't like my...
They didn't like the meme.
That sucks for them.
That sucks for y'all.
That sucks for you guys.
What's up, chat? It's the premiere of Michael Pappas Productions on the stream.
Yeah, you know, I've been trying to get this stream shut down since you moved in because
He's been
it's loud
sabotaging
and
my internet.
You know, it doesn't... I can't concentrate, and I figured, why not just join it now since I...
This is cursed. We're wearing the same hat now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got two
And the
of these
watch.
blanks.
It's the RHM House
the code.
uniform.
The code. Yeah. I made him a custom watch strap, like the one I made in the Seiko restoration video.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a whole code.
This one's special too because this is a very dear watch of mine that was sadly destroyed in a incident that really hurt my wrist.
Yeah,
and
Michael's a skater, so he.
But then Evan brought it back
stuff
to life, and now it's working again. And it
I made you a new strap, and then you shattered the glass on it afterwards.
Yeah, but it covers the 6 stitches that were once there.
Yep.
So, how's the stream going, brother?
Going good. We're like an hour in. So, chat. For context, this is Michael. This is my roommate and fellow filmmaker. I was just talking about you earlier, actually. Big time collaborator. He filmed the whole Adepticon video, the injection molding video from the other week. So you kind of know him already. He was in the floppy disk camera video as well. Will be featured in plenty more. So feel free to shoot him questions about things. We're just gonna hang out.
We're actually not roommates either. We're strictly coworkers.
Yeah, we're strictly coworkers. We used to be friends, and now
we signed a lease together, and now it's like friendship ends.
Now
coworker.
Friendship is ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's coworker only.
Yeah.
I have to pay him to be my friend, or he has to pay me.
And I also pay you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a constant Venmo.
So Michael's a big filmmaker, freelance videographer.
Are you lovers?
Film photographer.
Well,
Are you lovers? No.
Next question.
Oh,
you guys.
Why do you have matching hats? I'm changing my hat.
No, this is good. Sound like besties. You could say that.
Yeah, we've known each other since high school.
Middle school, Evan just didn't want to be my friend.
Yeah,
I actually have known some Evan Monsma lore is I sat next to Evan in history class in 8th grade, Mr. Hirschberger's history class, and I knew he was into sci-fi world building stuff. Yeah. I also was too. I was definitely way more extroverted, like
you were
ADD.
Cool.
No, I just had ADD. Like was constantly hyper.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Evan's awesome." So I tried talking to him one day, and Evan looked at me and then looked down and never spoke to me again
Yeah.
until senior year of high school. And then we still weren't friends or best friends until like our friend John put us on this project together that it was a big project, and we were
Big
in a
project.
U-Haul truck in January with no heat,
Uh-huh.
and I had no radio either, and I played some deep cut MF Doom
Deep cut
tracks,
MF
and
Doom.
Evan started quietly like quoting the song, and I like looked at him, and I'm like, we're gonna be best friends, like finally.
Yeah, I shot him down, and then after 6 years,
I had been. That's the thing. They call it simping. I call it persistence. Just don't stop.
now they're not gonna get the joke, and they're actually gonna think we're lovers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Hmm.
Keith is shipping. Keith is the one we're visiting in Connecticut. What brand of microwave do you have? I don't know.
Someone saw the original Breakfast with Pap on Billo the day after
What?
the Bloomington. Yeah, that's awesome.
Where did they say that?
Nathaniel, that's awesome. That is so cool.
I went down a weird rabbit hole a while ago where I watched all the Breakfast with Bevs and then got recommended one episode of Michael's version where he just eats McDonald's hungover.
This is a
Oh,
video that
no.
exists.
People are diving deep.
People are diving deep. That video does exist.
Jury Ann said earlier that she got recommended coffee with Chase. 'Cause I was just telling them about how I was making the custom espresso machine thing with Chase, and then somebody brought up coffee with Chase. They know way too much about my life.
RHM Studios.
RHM Studios. MF Doom, that's sick.
Yeah.
We're big Doom heads.
Yep, a lot of Doom. It's always playing in the house.
If you made a Patreon, do you think I could give you money there instead of becoming a channel member? It's not channel member on YouTube. It's I have my own website. The reason I did that is because one, it's cooler, and two, they take less of a cut. And they have a better video player. So I have all my videos up there ad free. So let me put it into chat. So it's linked. But yeah, you can help pay my rent money because I don't have a real job. I'm a YouTuber. So yeah, that's my Patreon basically, right there. Sweet headlights and having chats on YouTube. Sweet is like Twitch but cooler. Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of want to dual stream one day, like do both, because I think it would be kind of cool to pull some Twitch audience, but you have to pay for that feature on Streamlabs, and I ain't paying for nothing. It's all scrap wood, scrap metal, $0 budget per video. Evan Monsma lore wiki win.
I'm working on it.
He's working on it.
Yep, we're,
That would
We'll
be
get there.
funny if that just showed up one day.
it probably will. Not for me, but someone, I'm sure. Internet's crazy, man.
Yes, sir. So yeah, Michael was supposed to be on last week.
Yeah, was with the fam instead.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about the Adepticon video because he was heavily involved in that one. But unfortunately, you weren't around. So I kind of want to do like a director's commentary on that with you and put it up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could do it today. I don't know.
We are I'm on the clock because we have some guests coming.
Do you know when they're
Hammer
coming?
Boys on the way.
On the way from Northern
Yep.
India? Okay. So we still got an hour or something.
But you should probably prep the place a little better. I do have some thoughts with Adepticon though that I could share.
Yeah.
Just because obviously I saw last week's stream and have been a part of that process with that project.
Yeah.
Adepticon was sweet though, because
If you haven't seen it, we're talking about the injection molding video from last week, where we go to Chicago with Miscast and make a bunch of injection molded little guys. I wish I had one. I think I gave them all out.
I have one.
You have one?
I have my.
I have the molds. I have the molds here, but I don't have one of them because I think we made like 7 in total, something like that, before it was like 3 a.m. and we just had to go. So I don't think I got to keep one for myself, but Michael does have one. $12 monthly for Streamlabs Talk Studios, streamed to a ton of locations at once.
It
Worth
turns
it.
out I have
Paid
one.
annually.
I just don't have one.
Yeah, I feel like I kept one too, but I don't
There's
know.
probably a couple floating around the house somewhere. We'll
Yeah.
find when we move out or
In
get kicked out.
secret spots. Can you get us a sweet discount code for Raid Shadow Legends eventually? Are you thinking avoid taking on sponsorships? Yeah. I've joked about and I've trashed on BetterHelp before on this stream. It's like a running gag, especially off camera too.
Yeah.
It's just like the BetterHelp ads. And I finally got an email from them
Yesterday, right?
like yesterday. I finally got the BetterHelp offer, which I will not take. But yeah, I'm avoiding taking sponsorships. I'll take like you will see products eventually, just from like I don't know, like random like Road or something. If it's like a legit company that I think is good, like I'll take a product and do an affiliate code, but like I'm not gonna do a 90-second BetterHelp spot or whatever.
What's your dream product?
My dream product, DeWalt,
Nice.
Hyundai.
Give me like a
Giving me a brand new Vision 74 or
Yeah.
whatever that electric car is. Nah, what would be my dream? I mean, obviously the dream is like doing my own products, but a DeWalt thing would be sick.
Black Magic, nice.
Black Magic.
It was funny. I was just watching. Who said that? Keith. I don't know if you're a Black Magic user, but I just yesterday during my lunch watched just how cheap the Black Magic Pocket 1 is now. It's like $500. And was just seeing like how much better that one is still than some of the newer ones, and just like seeing the list of films that camera like was on set for was so sick. I mean, Logan was like the big one that was like I think entirely shot on that Black Magic 1. But yeah, that's I
They
don't know how I
did.
feel about.
I think I do have an email from Black Magic, but I don't know. I think they were just trying to sell some of the older cameras. I'm too cool
Hey,
for Black Magic.
A7C is not.
A7C is
Hey,
dope.
yeah, we love this household. Loves A7C. We don't have any.
We
but
love
we talk
compact
about
20s.
A7Cs a lot.
McMaster car. What is that? Not familiar. Private American supplier. Oh, it's like a hardware store or something. Ooh, there's an Adam Savage video on it. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
That would be sick. I do have an email from Black Magic that I probably should respond to. I haven't responded to any of them yet because I just don't want to like dilute the channel or come off as a sellout or whatever. And I don't think people are offering money anyway, and that's what I'm only concerned about rent money so I can keep making videos at this point. I don't need any fancy products. I already used DaVinci. Yeah. DaVinci's the GOAT, man. I'm trying to get him on it. He's still an Adobe guy.
It's probably color grading, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, color grading is big.
It's top tier.
Wait, why does this chat not update?
Yeah, it's not as fast.
I tried to have a bigger one so we can see it. Who are some big Midwest YouTubers? I don't know. There is that guy in Chicago. Is it Modustrial Maker or something? He bought the giant like building in Chicago and he's been fixing it up for the past 3 years. And he like just finished like a couple months ago. I think he's big in the Midwest.
Elliot Choi's from the Midwest.
Okay.
He's from Carmel.
Huh.
But
I
there's
don't-
obviously like a New York boy. Like I don't know if he really started. I'm sure
John
he started
Green is in
making-
Indianapolis.
Yeah, John Green's like
I don't know. He's here.
yeah.
I don't know if-
Oh, there he is.
There he is, right outside. I don't know if he counts as a YouTuber these days, but
I mean, he
More
used
of
to
an
run the
author.
game though, for sure.
used to run the
He
game.
was.
Started VidCon and all that. A guy once told me it would be an industry standard, then went on to do J. Cole, Cardi B videos and countless ones that he can't discuss. I don't remember what this was about. Da Vinci or Black Magic?
Are we
or
talking about the
something?
Black Magic?
Maybe. Isn't Technology Connections Midwest? I would believe. Is he Canadian? is technology connections from? I thought he was Canadian for some. No, he's in Chicago.
Oh yeah. Who else is Chicago
There's-
boys?
Isn't like one of those commentary funny guy like Danny Gonzalez
Yeah,
or something
I
like
feel like
that?
one of them's a Chicago boy.
One of them's from Chicago. So there's a handful,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody
Da
exactly.
Vinci Studio.
Da Vinci Studio, I see. Yeah, nobody exactly in my genre other than Modustrial Mode in Chicago. I'm back, 2 hour drive on half summer, half winter tires. Wish me luck. Said I'm missing the stream. Have a great evening, fam. Good luck, brother. He was in the pre-chat saying he was watching with a flat tire in a parking lot.
Ooh, I love that. Oh yeah.
Love Da Vinci. Da Vinci is the best. Yeah, I don't know of any other Midwest YouTubers though.
Well,
Me.
Evan Monsma.
Yep. We're making Indianapolis the new hub.
Yeah.
Any tools you're really itching to own? I'm really trying to stop myself from buying a tube bender right now. The Harbor Freight tube bender. Because I want to make a custom crash bar for my car. Custom bumpers. This son of a gun. 16 ton. It's a beautiful machine. I'm trying to hold off on buying that because I don't exactly have justification to spend that much, but that's a big one right now. What else? Camera stuff, maybe, if that
The
counts.
classic.
The classic.
Never enough gear.
Yeah. I try not to fall into that trap.
Mm.
Yeah, a second, like, reliable HDMI camera would be sick. Because one thing I need to do, and I was talking about studio upgrade videos, is like, I need to set up the cameras finally, because I used to have the whole camera switcher, which I do have right now. Probably doesn't, oh. Yeah, it does stuff.
Oh.
The camera switcher is plugged in, but I don't have any other cameras. So I need to put the top cam back in because that's one thing I've been missing.
Adamus Ninja, they're awesome.
Yeah, I have never used a Ninja monitor.
They're really good.
Do want one. Because the one monitor I do have is like kind of cheap feeling. TomTom's shop channel has a video about the tube bending and software that does the math to get the links. Interesting. Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's like how much it shortens, like doing all the math. I would. What perfume do you use?
I can tell you.
Sawdust, bro.
I was like, yeah.
Sawdust. Used engine oil. JB Weld.
AeroPress coffee.
AeroPress coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest for a little while in the winter was what we're using? But yeah, right there.
Engine
Harbor Freight bucket fume.
Harbor Freight bucket fumes.
Yeah.
High density
That's
polyethylene.
definitely a kind of callback to Adepticon is towards the end of the video when it was like it was definitely past 2 a.m. and Evan was just in the zone trying to get like 3 good ones. Like, you remember the part in the video where you guys all saw our batteries were dying because it was just so cold. I mean, it was March in Chicago. Like, it stays cold until end of April, early May when you're in Chicago.
Yeah, this whole scene.
And I very much don't rely on sleep. I can go days without sleeping or just like I'm not someone that needs a lot of sleep. And so I was like really confused why it was like pushing 2 a.m. and I was like, why am I like so like dizzy and like just kind of loopy? And now I feel like a little sick and like things are just getting a little wonky right now. And then I realized like I was just inside this enclosed Tucson with this injection molder just burning pellets.
It wasn't enclosed.
And it was enclosed enough.
The trunk was open.
Yeah. just
boy.
blowing the fumes to the front where I was at, like trying to warm up over this
I'm gonna
one
get
vent.
Mr. Beasted. I'm gonna get exposed for terrible working
No, this
conditions.
made me stronger though.
Yeah, it
Like,
keeps you awake.
yeah, I sleep great now because of it.
One day you'll
And
sleep forever.
but Evan, meanwhile, who that's like the least toxic thing that you work with from time to time. Just kidding. Use safety glasses, respirators, steel-toed boots,
all that.
all of that.
Oh, that's one thing I was going to talk about this week with the commentary for this week's video is I burned a hole straight through my shoe because they're leather shoes, so I think it would have been fine if it hit the leather, but it hit this like foam tongue, and so it burned a hole straight through the tongue, through my sock and into my foot because I was welding the quarter panel at the back of the car and my feet were just under it, and so like I had a drip. Like it wasn't a spark. The sparks usually aren't that bad, but it was like a drip, and that just melted all the way through my shoe. So yeah, wear proper PPE. I'm
really
stupid. If this was March, how far apart do you usually post videos after recording? Do you have a few in the vault before you post? No, not usually. That's the goal, is to get there. This one was in the vault for a while because I filmed this right before I took my like 3-month break between when I was in Cleveland and here when I was in my parents' basement. And I filmed this right before that. It was supposed to be the next week's video. And then I kind of like burned out hardcore like after this video, and then the sprint of trying to get this out and moving at the same time. So this one waited for a while. And then sometimes projects do sit around. I definitely don't like edit and then post later. It gets posted right after it's edited. But say like the video where I repaired the Rode mic, that one was a year later. Like it was an old project because I film a lot of stuff and I don't necessarily post every project that I do. So yeah, sometimes there is a time gap, but usually it'll be like this week's video was literally like some of these shots were taken the day it was posted. Like all of this was a couple days ago. This was Tuesday night. And then like the final B-roll was day of. So most of the time what you're watching is like real time basically, like sometimes same day. I did a thing welds barefoot. You can get molten drops off your feet faster than if
This
you're
is
wearing.
true. That
That's
is true.
Genius. Genius. I'm just gonna start welding butt ass naked. People really have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, there's always comments about safety and stuff, and yeah, I was welding in a short sleeve shirt. That was kind of silly as well. But, you know, I've seen videos of guys in India welding pipelines with no mask.
Or like
crazy.
the dudes that like are running all the power lines out there
Yeah,
and just
running it.
cut
Yeah.
with their teeth.
Yeah, so I do my
love
best, but actually I don't do my best. I need to get better. Do you think you'll find time to film a handful of content and then catch up where you might be like 5
Safety is
videos?
number one priority.
Safety is number one priority, yeah. 5 videos ahead of each upload. That would be dope. That's been the goal for as long as I've been weekly uploading. That's been the goal, but it's hard to get there. I'm getting better. Like last winter, last spring, when I was posting weekly for like 6 months straight, I was literally spending every day on the video. And now like season 2, I'm a little quicker with it. So like some of these videos have been put together in like 2 or 3 or 4 more realistically. But I've got a little bit of extra time, so I can get ahead. So that's the goal for like the next couple months, is like hopefully getting 1 or 2 videos ahead. I don't know if I'll do like the early release thing on the membership site. There's been a little bit of conversation about that on Discord. Is like, is week early videos a perk or is it just like annoying? Because then everybody's still getting a video per week, but the people who are on the paywall just are on a different timeline. It's like it's not really a perk, so I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I don't know if I'll ever do the early uploads. I think I prefer just the extra BTS stuff like I did this week. How's your finger healing? Totally fine. We're good now. Maybe a bit of a scar, but nothing crazy. Maybe 24 hours. Yeah, that might be the move. This week I did post it like 3 hours early or something because I uploaded this video on the membership site up to this point where the video actually ends. And then I still had to film this whole thing where I promoted the membership site. So it came out a couple hours earlier on the site. But yeah, I don't know that I'm going to do like fully a week early. But it would be good to have a backlog so that I can spend more time on bigger projects. I just watch on YouTube anyway, give you that YouTube premium money. The membership is just bonus. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's true. If you've got, YouTube premium already, it's probably better to watch it on YouTube. But it is nice ad free if you don't have YouTube premium. I feel like I skipped a comment that I wanted to read. Why can't I scroll here? M50 Mark II would work fine as a second streaming cam. That's probably what's going to go here. So I'll have one as this angle, another one on a tripod. That'll be the A6600, and then the M50 will be up there. That's where it lived before. But, yeah, I don't know. I just need to set it up again. Get the dummy battery going, all that stuff. Do your new headlights have high beams and low beams? They do, because it's the same bulbs as the stock headlights. It's basically just a new housing. And then the turn signals are different, but yeah, still high beams and low beams. And I adjusted them so they're not blinding anybody. I had a cut of the video where I went on this whole rant about people not adjusting their headlights properly. Because like when people get the new LED headlights and then don't adjust them and it just like blinds everybody. It's super annoying. But that was like right at the end of the video and I'm like, I don't want to sour this whole moment by going on a rant about headlight adjustments. So I cut it. But yeah. Worried about getting pulled over for not having a bumper. It's Indiana.
Yeah.
Home of the Indianapolis
The closer
Motor
you live
Speedway.
to the city, the less you have to worry about.
Yeah, I
what
get
your car
worried
looks
when I have
like.
to drive up to like the rich neighborhoods.
Yeah, the suburbs is where you gotta.
The suburbs is iffy, but where we live, not a big deal. Have you tried the DaVinci Speed Editor editing keyboard? I have. At my old job, I did the Speed Editor. I pretty much still just use the same keybinds because like the whole keyboard, it's like, it's cool, but it's effectively the same as just making custom keybinds. But I used the hell out of the knob. The knob was big for cutting B-roll, being able to zoom forward and backward to like get your exact cuts. That was big. So yeah, I like the Speed Editor, and you get the license free with it. So like,
True.
It's like $200 to get the license for DaVinci Pro or Studio or whatever it's called, or you can spend $350 or whatever on the keyboard and then you get it. So, did you get the dummy battery situation worked out for your older Android phone? Not yet, but Keith was giving me some pointers on it, so I will. This little thing will be a monitor. I'm gonna make it a tiny monitor for a camera rig. So I need a dummy battery so it doesn't die immediately. But I've got good leads on how to do it, so I'm pretty confident it'll work. My Jeep Patriot has 0 headlight adjustments. It's BS. Yeah, just
At least
like
you get a Jeep Wave.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Bad headlights, but it comes with a Jeep Wave.
There you go. Yeah, because I guess that's the same like universal 7-inch whatever. I kind of want. How deep are we into this? An hour 20. Where did you get that car? Where'd you get the car model? eBay, baby.
Yeah.
I think it came from a dealership. Like the dealers used to have these on their desks to sell them, to sell the cars, not the miniatures. And I think you can still get some of them new from like China, but they're so expensive usually because they ship from overseas and they're pretty well made. But I found this one for like $70. We're an hour 20 in. How far out do you think Carlos is?
I was about to kind of head out,
Yeah.
go do some housekeeping things.
Yup.
He's probably about a good hour, maybe a little more.
Okay. Dope. So I will try to. I'm gonna hop into the commentary on this week's vid.
I would like to say it was very interesting. I was actually out of town this week, but in and out of like stopping in the house when I needed something, and like seeing just like the car and the in the back of the house at first. Like I was like, okay, like I know he's gonna do some things. And then 2 days later, come home and your fenders are completely gone. And then
he just like, came home and I was kind of
bumpers here.
State. I'm like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
And you're like, it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool and really funny. And then, but it was funny because I would come home like every 2 days to like get some more supplies or like do some work at my computer here, and like there would be more things missing from the car. And then I would be like, hey, so is the headlight on? And you're like, no. So it was like you would just keep taking, everything apart except the one thing
that the video was about.
Yeah. Oh, shout out Marco. That's another guy that we both hit it off over.
Yeah.
OG. He does have a sick sewing machine too. Very talented at sewing.
I haven't seen him in a while.
His leather work is awesome.
He did like custom sneakers and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because that was like this first sneaker channel. I think you and I were like, yo, you watch that too?
Yeah.
Comparing our algorithms back in the day.
Yeah. Now I'll talk about it in the commentary, but yeah, there's a 2 day or maybe 2 or 3 day time jump between where I cut the grill and when I actually did the headlights, because I just got distracted and Michael just kept coming back and being like, oh boy.
What do you think of Tom Sachs' work?
Tom Sachs is dope.
Tom Sachs is dope.
He's the man.
If any of you have his phone number, don't put it in chat. Don't give it to us. Just call him. What size shoe do you wear?
Size 13.
He's a 13. I'm a 9 to a 9.5. We have been trying to get those shoes. Every variation, every drop. Evan and I are like, we're getting this one. We're getting this one. We have tried getting those shoes for so long. Tom Sachs is obviously
the universal shoe or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and he's another one. He was a creator that you and I bonded over.
Yeah.
A lot of his work, his storytelling is very, very top notch. He has a very good way of getting a story.
A legend.
Yeah, works with Werner Herzog, so that's obviously super sick.
The people that used to say I was a knight that rip
How
off.
tall are you?
Yeah.
5'7".
I'm 5'2", actually.
Yeah.
Everybody that says I'm a Neistat ripoff, I'm actually a Tom Sachs ripoff.
Oh, that's sick. He said he went to the Mars Art Show. That's so cool.
That is dope.
There was a Chicago show a couple years ago that I wanted to go to, but didn't get to make it. So that's really cool. You got to experience that.
Yeah, I'd love to see his an exhibition at some point. How's it going? I'm burning up over here in California. Hope all is well over here. It's pretty damn hot here too.
Yeah.
But good to see you in the chat.
Of summer.
No Name sent me the 3D printer that I have. He's a legend.
Absolute legend.
Guy's got my last name. Yeah. Any relation, Keith? Just watched a documentary about Werner Herzog yesterday. That guy's freaking nuts. I've been meaning to like binge all his documentaries.
Fitzcarraldo obviously is
Yep.
insane. But yeah, Herzog's awesome. He's also in the Star Wars universe. Well, for all you nerds, including myself.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's only in the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
Oh wow.
Maybe only the first.
Huh.
But he was like a big selling point, I remember, in the trailers when that series was coming out. Yeah.
Who did he play? I think I watched.
He plays, I mean, I feel like at this point you're allowed to spoil like anything. But he plays the scientist that like hires the Mandalorian to bring Grogu to him because he has
Huh.
that famous line like, "I want to see the child" or something like
I
that.
did not know that was him.
And then Din Djarin.
Nice. I also have a deck of cards which share a marker, pen, and a pen protector of his.
Nice.
That's crazy.
That is awesome.
Damn, that's a flex. He's also in Parks.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Actually, if you want a good Werner Herzog video to watch on YouTube, go to Jankum Magazine and watch Werner Herzog review skateboarding.
Oh, I have seen
It is
that
one of the best.
That's a good one.
Also, it seems too good to be true, but I think the line is like, oh yeah, like he like without knowing skate lingo, like on one of the last clips he's watching, he's just like with his glasses, like watching on his iPad. He's like, "That was clean."
That was
like,
clean.
that's this guy, and it was, but
That's so sick.
yeah.
Naval Command Center is my favorite piece. My favorite Tom Sachs is like the Chanel chainsaw, the Louis Vuitton guillotine.
Louis Vuitton guillotine. McDonald's is really
The
sick.
McDonald's is sick.
Love Letters to
like,
Plywood is obviously like just
some of the
such a good
NASA
film.
like the space like Hasselblad plywood
Oh
camera.
yeah.
Those are sick. That's too on point for me too.
Yeah.
I do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
crazy. He stole your idea when you were 4.
Yeah,
Like,
when I was like 2 years old,
Yeah.
he stole my whole idea.
crazy. Must have had an almanac, a YouTube almanac.
Yeah. He skipped to the future and stole my ideas.
Yeah. We should make a film about that.
What?
About someone that steals an almanac and hits great success. And so then like there's like this older character and like a younger character, like student mentor type of like dynamic, and then they have to go to the past or the future to stop that almanac. We should be writing this down. This is a really good idea.
Don't steal. Don't
Yeah.
steal.
This is a really good idea. Really good original idea.
Indeed.
Who is your friend?
This is
You
Michael.
use the F word. We are not friends. We were friends until we signed a lease.
Now we're purely coworkers.
Strictly coworkers.
Strictly coworkers. Yeah, this is Michael Pappas, Pappas Productions. Filmmaker, film photographer, freelance videographer, all that. He filmed the he's been in a couple videos. He filmed the Adepticon video, the injection molding video from the other week. All that stuff. Fake news.
Hey,
Keith
watch
knows.
that movie. I would too. Maybe we'd even make it a trilogy someday.
All right. I'm going to hop into this.
I'm going to hop out because I'm actually getting a call from our guest this weekend.
Ooh,
Well, chat, this was fun.
you'll see more of
You'll see more of me. I'm keeping this hat.
more recurring characters.
Also, I mean,
He's stealing my hat.
I'll leave my hat behind.
Yeah.
Until next time, chat.
We'll see more of him in the
See you
future.
in the next one.
It's time to hop into the headlight video. Where is this thing? Headlights, release candidate 2. No, release candidate 1. I got a bunch of versions for this one because a different version went up on the website, and then there's the behind the scenes on the website and all that. W-Mans, W-Chat, W-Mans. W's in the chat. Okay. Let me move my stuff around so I can do this video commentary. Headlights. Let's see. Naked welding OnlyFans. I know I'm super late on that joke. There you go. If nothing works out, there it is. Okay. Here we go on the commentary. I need headphones. I need audio. Desktop audio's on. Boom. Let's see how these audio levels are.
As junky as it is, my car is really special to me.
Too loud or
This
Good.
is my 2007 Hyundai Tucson. My first car, my only car, my daily driver. Usually,
I did say my only car, but technically I do have two cars because at the end there is the little gas-powered flashlight. But technically I don't own it yet. Where is it? This car that I'm fixing up for my sister. So technically I have two cars, but I don't own this one. Technically. That's Michael's car. I'm buying it off him. He's buying a Ford Ranger. I'm fixing up that car and getting it to my sister. W volume. I like the new W spam. This is good. Now that Michael's gone, I can switch back to my green hat. Now that he's not stealing my whole style. Peace out, gotta go. Good to have you here. Thanks for stopping by.
as junky as it is, my car is really special to me.
Ford Mofo
This
Ranger.
is my 2007
Exactly.
Hyundai Tucson. My first car, my only car, my daily driver. Usually,
Oh, my water bottle was right here the whole time, hiding behind that thing. I was thirsty. How many miles did it have when you got it? I have a Volvo with 120. I bought it at 120. It is currently 170, something like that. Which is kind of low, given that I've had it for 4 years. Or I guess that's pretty high. But like the first 2 years, I put no miles on it because I barely drove anywhere. And then in the last 2 years, I've put like 50K on it. You should keep building this car and see how steampunk you can make it. Basically, more like Mad Max Apocalypse type than steampunk. But that's basically the idea. It's getting crazier and crazier. Next thing, one of the next things I'm gonna do is like, so bumper is getting welded, new bumper, new roof rack mount, and then prepping for the chop top to go pickup truck mode. But also new paint. I think one thing I'm gonna do in the near future, just for fun, is there's a couple layers of paint under this. So it's green and then there's red primer under it. Under that, there's tan that it was before. You can see that tan in previous videos. Under that is the stock titanium gray, and under that is white primer. So there's a couple cool layers, and I kind of want to just sand the whole thing and see like what it looks like with all the different layers visible. So I might try that soon, just to dive fully into the kind of stupid looking thing. Bought it with 120,000. Don't know if I should sell. Yeah, I don't know. It's different based on the brand. Like 120 can be old, but like 120, that's when some major things start dying maybe on some brands. So it's like, you know, if you have a car at 120 and some of those things have already been replaced, then it's like a brand new car. Like in some situations, I feel like a 150,000 car might be better than the 100,000. Because on the 100,000, everything's about to break, and the 150, everything has just been replaced. So it's a crapshoot. I when looking at cars, I don't look at miles that much. It's like it's all over the place. Miles isn't necessarily a great indicator, except for like general road wear, suspension elements, frame wear. But yeah. John Green of Vlogbrothers, famous from Indianapolis. Just so you know, YouTubers everywhere, but you're catching up to him. I will never be bigger than John Green, but I appreciate it. But yeah, he is here. He goes for walks on the canal sometimes. I've never seen him, but I've heard he's out there all the time. Does your state allow for K trucks? Mine won't let me register. Which state are you in? I think it is legal here in most of the Midwest. I'm in Indiana. And it's fine here. I see him on the road, see him for sale. At least I think it's allowed. I mean, I definitely see him. Sand it down to raw metal and make it look like a Cybertruck. That'd be dope. It's past 2 a.m., so I have to go to bed. But I'll see you next week again. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the scene. Bye. Peace. Good having you here. New York won't let me register. Nah. Makes sense, I guess. That's a rip. It's just Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Is or that's Maryland, isn't it? Just came from watching the vid. Love the new headlights. Hell yeah. I'm just jumping into the director's commentary right now. I would love a K-Track. They just look cool. Yeah, they are sick.
With my
Kind of overpriced now, though. Well, they're still pretty cheap, but there's definitely more hype.
projects, I don't like things to be sitting out half finished, but my car is one of my few permanent works in progress. There's always something that needs tinkered with. This week, it's the headlights. Ever since my car took...
I met John Green once in New York City, and he specifically told me he was avoiding you due to severe sensitivity to, I don't know what that word is, bordering on an allergic reaction.
a deer to the fender about a year ago. I've been running on mismatched headlights. My solution was making this custom headlight out of universal motorcycle
So I did
bulbs
that one like 6 months ago.
instead of paying $200 or $300 for a new set. So my next few tasks are finishing the unfinished project, making the other headlight.
Can you tell us more about the custom dashboard? Yeah, there is a whole video on it, but it was a while ago. So I want to do an update. Because some things have changed. These knobs don't exist anymore. These don't exist anymore. It has changed. But yeah, this is basically just a piece of sheet metal with a bunch of analog buttons and switches on it. There's a head unit behind here. This controls the music. This is an EQ for the music. Play, pause, next. Those are wired up to the buttons on the head unit. So those control the music. These are windows left and right, which don't exist anymore. Now the windows are separately wired. I have them running off of a power tool battery so that I can roll the window up and down without the car being on. And also I wanted to eliminate all the wires that run into the door so that I can take them off to go dune buggy mode. You don't know what bricolage? How do you say that? My man, look it up. It's the construction or creation from a diverse range of available things. What Tom Sachs has built his career on. Huh. I've never heard it before. And then these three are AC controls. So that's cold to hot, blower, vents. These went away and have been replaced by different things because the voltage that runs through them is really high. And these are only good up to 15 amps or something. And the voltage or the amperage that goes through them is like 30 amps for some reason. So I replaced them with like breakers from a house. So that's the situation currently. And then headlight and bright switches, I beefed up to bigger switches so I can feel them better at night when it's dark out. So it's easier for me to flip on and off the brights as I'm on country roads. 30 amps, I think so. It's like too high. I think something's wrong with the wiring. That's the situation currently. Yep. I think there's like a resistor or some, I don't know. I'm not good with electronics, but there's something broken on the control board for these. And something is frying whatever switch I run to the blowers. So it's screwed up, but I have to fix that. But that's the custom dashboard. Follow-up video one day.
The next few tasks are finishing the unfinished project,
I just thought this was funny. Sketching my to-do list on the car
making the other headlight.
really sets the tone for how little shits I give.
And maybe work on some other things like the grill, the bumpers, and the roof rack. My car is one project where I allow myself to go a little crazy and work on whatever I'm
Oh, currently, I get it.
inspired to work on in the moment, not worrying too much about strict plans or anything. Now, since the replacement headlight is going to be such a significantly different shape than the stock ones, an idea that's been bouncing around my head is chopping the grill.
Writing with whiteout and channeling the Neistat Saxon Savage. Exactly. They are just the best. I also have these. This is my own evolution of that, is you can get colored ones from stores that like supply stuff for like graffiti writers and stuff. So these are Metal Machine markers by Machine Studios. And they come in colors, so you can get like the Pentel Jumbo Presto pen, but you can get them in colors now. So I use the hell out of those. I carry like 2 of them on me at all times. Have you thought about adding some Nixies to your car? Love that scene. What is that? I don't know what those are. Oh, you talking about like keyboard switches? Have you tried to apply to Tom Sachs' apprentice program? Nah. I don't know what goes into that, but I'm busy enough. I don't know.
Well, kind of going
It would be sick though.
with this wider, more Mad Max-ish type look. Now, cutting off a good portion of the front of my car isn't exactly reversible, so I just painted out my lines real quick to sort of visualize
Nixie
what it would
tubes.
look like. You get the idea.
Yeah, I did this just to see, but I already did do a Photoshop of this cut, and I knew I was gonna like it good enough, so I just ran it.
I don't know if I do, but I'm gonna cut it anyway and see what happens. Now, with how I talk about how much I care about this car, it might seem weird how kind of reckless I am with it, but as long as it drives well and it's relatively safe, I don't care too much about how it looks. No matter what it is, I like seeing other people's creations that stand out from the regular traffic, stuff that is
Ripped to my yellow metal machine pen, which fell in the gap of an elevator door and was lost forever. No! It's a big rip. Oop. I almost just accidentally clicked stop streaming. So cutting the hood there did make a little gap, but I kind of hammered that closed. In theory, it's still like pretty bad for rust, because now stuff can get into the whole hood frame, but it could anyway under the hood, so whatever. Also, there is some like anti-vibration foam inside some of this, and I have seen before people cutting fenders and hoods and stuff, and that foam can catch on fire and start a whole fire. So like you can see, oop, that's the Patreon video. Come on, where's my bar? There it is. You can see smoke coming out. Because the foam is like melting away. So it is dangerous. If you're going to do this yourself, just be ready if the foam sparks up. You'll see it.
their own.
Oh, no sound. That's what I clicked. Good call. Thank you. I knew I clicked something on accident and I was like, am I still streaming? But it was the audio.
This was my first car, and I didn't like it for the first year or so that I had it. It felt boring, same old, and I was afraid to do any modifications on it.
Finally made it to a live. Good to have you here. No volume. Yeah. Whoopsie. How long was it like that? In an ideal world where you were outfitting your whole shop with new power tools, would you stick to one brand, and if so, which? Hot take? I don't really care. I like the Milwaukee logo, and I like yellow, so I like DeWalt. But honestly, if I had infinite money, I'd just get all of them, and then have all the colors of the rainbow. I like the vibe of having multiple brands mixed together. I don't know why. It's just like an anti-consumer thing. Yeah, I like the vibe of switching up platforms. But I'd probably be a DeWalt guy or a Makita guy, or I don't know. I got no strong brand loyalty, honestly.
Because I thought I was going to sell it and buy an old truck or something. But after doing a good amount of work on the engine myself, I started to get familiar with it and like it.
This is like a 10-foot pallet. I don't even know if it's defined as a pallet anymore, but it's like a thing that a bunch of flooring was shipped on, like a giant roll of carpet. That sucker was heavy. 10 feet long, so it went in and out the front, window, back of the car.
And began to turn this car into the truck that I wanted. I tore out everything from the back and put
This was like the last set of shots that I did for this video, day of when I posted it. So you can see the giant splatter of primer from when I blasted open the can.
pallet wood bed. And now I basically use it as a work truck, hauling scrap wood and carrying tools. Now, for the custom headlight, I'm going to be using some random...
What would you recommend to do for a beginner driver for a car to buy? Just buy a Toyota. Don't buy anything too expensive. Buy something you can pay off in full, no car payments. Buy a 1999 Toyota Corolla or Camry. Something dumb simple that you can learn to work on yourself. Gets good enough fuel mileage. Reliable as hell. Cheap as hell. That's what you want.
scrap metal I had. There's definitely a better way to do this.
Or an old Scion. Those are basically Toyotas. Yeah. Something nice and reliable. Don't get something too sporty or too expensive.
But with what I had
Unless you want to have fun.
laying around, I made this simple angled
But you can have fun with cheap cars too. That's what this is all about. I bought a random Hyundai when I wanted to buy a cool truck or a reliable Toyota. But I'm sticking with it and making it work anyway. Honestly, any car before, any car that's over 10, 15 years old is going to be so much simpler to work on than anything modern. So I would get something old that you can pay off and you can actually work on yourself.
structure, and I'm going to mount my headlights using this other random bar of steel. By the way, I'm aware I'm shooting metal shards directly into my coffee cup here. Don't worry, it was empty. Now, this
Classic Evan Monsma activities.
is the first time I've welded anything since I made the other headlight months and months ago. And I'm not very good at welding. I can point the gun in the right direction and pull the trigger.
I was worried I was going to get demonetized for that line. I didn't realize it until I uploaded, and I was like, oh. But I guess YouTube isn't that strict compared to, TikTok will, demonetize you for mentioning certain words.
But not much more than that.
I'm talking about a welding gun.
But these welds aren't holding any serious weight, and you know what they say. A grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. All things considered, though, I probably have less than an hour of weld time total in my life, so I've got time to improve. I then cut up my
I know, bad angle grinder form.
smaller brackets that are gonna mount
I need clamps and stuff, so I don't do that.
the turn signals and the headlight, and cleaned them up a bit. This shorter piece is gonna hold my turn signals.
The only shot inside the studio. I guess there's B-roll at the end, but that's the only time I come into the studio in this project.
And I want to add a bit of an angle so I can have my two lights staggered a bit. The other piece is just getting roughly formed into kind of this C shape to hold the big headlight. This will be the completed shape, headlight on the right and two little blinkers on the left. I could probably do this project without any welding at all, but I wanted to get my practice in for future projects where the structural integrity does matter. And to my surprise, one of my welds actually came out.
I'm proud of that one. Some people might say it looks like trash, and objectively, maybe it kind of does, but for me,
Looking pretty good, for me at least, compared to what I'd been doing.
yeah.
One thing I've
It's a $100 flux core welder. You can't shit on me too much for it. What about a truck? Because that's what I have, and I want to put a cassette reader. Trucks are cool. Worse fuel mileage, but if you need one, you need one. What do you think about 3D printers? I have been sent one by No Name in the chat. Haven't put it together yet, but I'm about to. Coming up in the next few weeks, studio build video where I'm gonna build maybe a standing desk here even and put some of my bigger tools there because I don't have places for those things to live right now. And the 3D printer will go up and then I'll let you know what I think about it. But in general, I was into 3D modeling and printing in the early days, 2014, 15. I was messing around with them in high school. And I really liked it. limitless possibilities. But now it's like if I'm making something one of one for myself, I'm just going to make it out of wood or metal. But where 3D printing gets interesting is like production runs, repeatability, super precision stuff. So it will become a part of my toolkit. But like I get comments all the time, like on the speed booster video, they're like, or just get a 3D printer. And I'm like, it's not the same. If I'm making something one of one for myself, I'm going to make it out of wood or something nice. But there's places for 3D printing for sure. Prototype cool car parts, then melt in the aluminum forge or something. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing. Also 3D printing like any project that I want to be able to make available for other people to do. I want to do that with 3D printing so that I can give out STLs and stuff. Or electroplating. Electroplating would be sick. I really want to try that. But yeah, that's where 3D printing is going to fit into my channel, is like doing kits and stuff, like projects that y'all can like follow along with the exact models.
Learned with trying a lot of new skills is not to be too down on yourself for sucking at it at first. You don't get good at something by avoiding doing it, so there's a level of embracing the suckiness. With my metal thingamabob completed.
As messy as my welds are, I think I do get pretty good penetration with metal that's that thick. Like honestly, it's really hard welding stuff like the sheet metal on the car body, because that's like 1 millimeter thick, and with flux core you'll just burn right through it immediately. But with this stuff, this was maybe 2.5 millimeters thick. And that was not bad at all. Like you can kind of just send it and you'll get, as long as you have the right settings and you're holding the gun far enough away, like you will get the right penetration. So I do feel good about this, like for welding more structural stuff, like when I do the bed reinforcements on the sides and all that. I'm excited to do it. Really the prohibitive thing right now is just the pure cost of stock metal. But I'll get there.
It was time to put some primer on it. Unfortunately, I was running out of automotive primer, so I decided to just crack the can open.
Whack. I've always wanted to do that. I don't think I've done that before. And it wasn't the best. It could have been a bigger hole. But fun fact, the piece of metal that I used to crack it open here is like the lifter bar from the piano that we burned the other week. So this is the thing that would like lift the hammers when you press the pedal, I believe. So that's what I used to crack open that. And obviously this doesn't like work well, because with primer you want to get a nice even coat and not have thick spots. So yeah, not useful. But if you're painting like a mural or something, and you're just like soaking in paint into a concrete wall or whatever, you can bust open cans to get the last bit out of it. And that is genuinely a cool thing to do. You just might get paint on yourself. What kind of skills do you want to learn next? Like outside DIY building stuff? What about food? Yeah, I would love to get better at cooking. I do cook for myself because I'm just like a budget conscious dude in general. So like I don't eat out. But like the extent of cooking that I do is like meal prepping up some cowboy macaroni or something, like some ground beef and pasta or some crappy fettuccine alfredo or whatever. Like I feel like the couple meals that I do make I'm decent at, but I want to get better at. Cooking would be a thing. But in general, skills that I want to get better at, drawing. Drawing is one. Real music production, because I make like all these ambient kind of pads, like just whatever. And that's pretty like low rhythm, low pressure type music, but I would like to be able to make some more complicated tracks. It's like music and drawing, I think, are big things that I would like to get better at. But yeah. I recently started planning and working on a shed, and your work has been a major inspiration to get off my bum and work on it, even if it's just stuff like drawing the floor plan, electric diagrams. Hell yeah, sounds fun. I would love to build a shed. I'll do that one day. Like Van Neistat just built a little shed on his property as his YouTube studio, and I really want to do that just one day when I actually own property. Why drawing? For the board game that I'm working on, it would be nice to be able to like draw. But I think the direction that I'm going for the art is like maybe I'll commission a couple pieces from artists for like box art and stuff, but the card art will be more like practical effect claymation type stuff. Because for whatever reason, like sculpting comes way more naturally to me than drawing does. Like drawing's hard. But it would be really cool to be able to do that.
And open. Terrible way to apply paint. I wouldn't recommend, but it was fun. Anyway, after that set, I gave it a much nicer coat of flat black enamel. And once that set nice and matte, it was finally time to actually assemble this thing. The main light is a universal 7-inch motorcycle headlight, which you can get for about 20 bucks, and the turn signals are called bullet lights, also for motorcycles. They're maybe 10 bucks.
They teach you sculpture in drawing school, helps understand texture and shadow. I believe it. There's a lot of artists that I used to like follow Magic the Gathering stuff very deeply, and a lot of those artists would sculpt every single piece. So they would like sculpt up their character and then use that as reference for angles and lighting, which I think is a really cool way to do it. I took a couple of drawing classes in the short period I was in college. And I think we did maybe do a little bit of sculpting. I can't remember, but I took 2 years of drawing classes.
Per pair.
Man, I used to be so good at drawing, and now I can't do shit since I didn't do it for the last 4 years or so, and have unlearned and forgot basically everything. Ain't that how it is? But, you know, if you jump back in, I'm sure you'll pick it up again pretty quick. My pops teaches sculpture in college. He works at an illustration school. That is sick. That would be one backup gig I would love to do, is just like, if none of this works, I will go back to school, get a 2-year teaching degree, and just go be a high school shop class teacher. That's my backup plan.
So about $60 for the whole car. Not bad. To stick my metal brackets to the car, I cut a little flathead groove into this long bolt. The way I did this, I didn't have enough room to stick a socket down in there, but I also could have just gone to the hardware store and got longer bolts. I just sent those bolts through this old headlight seat and stuck a nut on the other side with a washer. Feels pretty sturdy and it doesn't shake going down the road, so I think we're all good.
You'd be an epic shop teacher? Yeah. You'd be an epic shop teacher. Thank you. I hope I would be. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Fun fact, I was a substitute teacher, actually. Which is funny because I'm only 23 right now. So it's weird that that's a job that I've had. You would think that, but you don't need any teaching license to be a substitute teacher. So I substitute taught high school when I was 20. So I was like 2 years older than some of these classes. But they let me do it. And I would always screw around. I probably wasn't the best teacher, but the kids liked me. It was a good time. How's the embroidery journey? Haven't touched it much in the I've been kind of busy with all the car stuff. Got distracted, but here in the next couple days, I'm gonna run a test on this hat, start building a jig for it. There'll be a video soon. Making like a custom hat clamp jig for that thing, and then embroidering hats. But I don't know if I'll hold on to that video and wait to release it until the hats are actually available in like a month. So we'll see. Teach them not to cut on rugs. Shade being thrown. I'm fully aware. Believe me, any comment that you put about safety, I have already thought to myself a dozen times while editing the video. It's just, you know, I'm sure if you had everything that you do on camera, you would look back and see how many stupid things you've done. Sometimes you don't even realize in the moment. Wisconsin requires a 4-year degree. Interesting. At least for high school here in Indiana that didn't. But also they're desperate for teachers in Indiana. Indiana has a big teacher shortage. Is it a sewing machine with embroidery options or just embroidery? It's just embroidery. It was a pretty cheap one. Brother PE 535 is the model, I believe.
Now for the wiring, I wanted to reuse parts from the stock
this was fun.
headlight, but I also kind of just wanted an excuse to do this.
Bang. Bang. Now, if you were watching this thinking this was wasteful, you can see these screws here. Headlights like this were all like glued together, and it's a pain, a major pain to get it apart. And so when I was opening this to do something, I pulled it apart and it was terrible, and all of this was screwed. It wasn't watertight anymore. So it was already in bad shape. And I'd tried to recover the cloudiness on it once, and I kind of did a poor job because I wasn't super familiar with sanding plastic at the time, and I kind of burned it a little bit. A whole bunch of things were wrong with this headlight, so this was not worth saving at all. Smashing something just for the satisfaction to create something is priceless. Exactly. This guy gets it.
And there we go. There's my beautiful little wires that I needed. Could I have retraced and redone the wires myself and not reused the stock plug? Yeah, sure. But I'd already opened up and modified that headlight anyway, and it no longer had a matching pair, so it was destined for the trash regardless. Now, I chose to plug in and reuse the stock headlight bulb from the original car instead of the one
I liked this lighting for this little sequence. It's just a single light being the headlight. So it's like the thing that is lighting the scene is also the thing that I'm working on.
that came with the motorcycle headlight. The stock bulb was just a lot brighter and more appropriate for a car-sized object than the motorcycle one. There might be a difference in operating voltage too, I'm not sure. I was just happy to see that with no modification, the different size of bulb fit perfectly into the housing meant for the motorcycle bulb.
Ooh, there's kind of some audio bitrate weirdness. I might have forgotten to do a little export thing. Whoopsie. Actually, I'm a woman, but thanks. Oh, sorry. I assumed with Charlie. He has the sun right in his hands. Exactly. The reason I unplugged it to work on it too is the halogen bulbs get like stupid hot, so you can burn yourself on that bulb. If you could travel outside of America, where would you want to go? I've been fixated on Barcelona for some reason. I just want to see that like really pretty chapel they have there that they're working on. The Netherlands, I think, would be dope because I want to see where my family grew up. Great-great-grandparents came from there. So like not even necessarily just Amsterdam, but like traveling through South Netherlands and just seeing the landscape. A couple things like that. I've been to the Netherlands and love it there. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Probably no voltage difference because motorcycle and car batteries are both 12 volt. That's what I figured. I don't know why it was so much dimmer. I think maybe it was just a cheap bulb, and that's just the end of the story because it's like, it's a $20 headlight. Probably most of that cost went into, because it's like, it's actual metal and actual glass. And maybe it was just a cheap bulb. Japan and the crowded city seems cool. Yeah, I don't know if I could go to Japan because I'm a 6'8" white man and I would stand out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that would just be crazy. Like I'd be on the subways like hunched over. Japan would be sick though, especially right now because just the currency is like so. Your dollar goes so far there right now.
It's even a bit brighter than my old headlights were now that it's glass instead of foggy plastic.
You'd have trouble getting indoors, yeah.
Now, one thing to consider with these turn signals is that wiring them up to an older car that's intended for halogen lights, these are LED, which have a much lower resistance. It's pretty straightforward to wire up, you just stick them together, positive to positive, negative to negative, but once it's actually on and functional, they will blink faster because the relay that's controlling them sees no resistance and thinks
this might be my favorite
there's
shot
a
I've done in a while.
dead halogen bulb in
Just
there.
those lights.
You can fix this by adding resistors into the wiring or by just switching out the relay for an LED one. I then pulled up the old handy gas-powered flashlight so I could still see while I was wiring up the headlights. That's another old Hyundai that I'm fixing up to be my sister's first car. No motorcycle headlights or chopped grills on that.
There'll probably be a video about that car, the whole restoration in one video. Because it's kind of rare that I do stuff on my channel where I'm like actually trying to make it nice. I kind of did that with the espresso machine project that I was working on earlier today that I talked about in the stream earlier. That was like a product that was like actually nice. Because when I make things for other people, I want to make them nice. But when I make things for myself, I don't care. And so fixing the car for my sister is like a project that is for somebody else, so I can finally make it nice. Same with like the William Osmond excavator grips. Like I tried to make those pretty quality, just because it was for somebody else. You fancy ND filters? I should. I don't film outside enough that I usually just stop down the aperture and shutter speed, but I probably should. It's just one of those things that I haven't really bought yet.
That one though, I swear. I can appreciate the craft of doing something really clean and correctly, but for me, for my own car, it's the scrap togetherness and the constant adjustments and tweaking that make it fun for me to drive. It's the same ethos that goes into how I build my studio, except
What's your most recent obsession / DIY that you can't let go for a minute, like can't stop thinking for some reason? Man, it always just fixates on whatever I've worked on. So like after I did the speed booster video, I was like, my mind is just full of these ideas for other camera videos that I've been working on. But then as soon as I did this headlight, now I'm in car mode. So right now, all I'm thinking about is like, oh, I want to weld up these bumpers. I want to weld up the roof rack. Like it's all about scrap metal and welding in my brain right now. Looks like you're building your own Mad Max car. Basically. If you could have 3 things, what would they be? What does that mean? If you could have, I can't see the end of it. I don't know. 3 objects? I don't know how to answer that. Modify everything. Indeed.
in this case, I fully own this thing. And as silly and inconsequential as a lot
Food, shelter, water.
of these modifications are,
I don't know what the
freedom to
parameters.
just tinker around and have fun.
Somebody commented on the 2 headlights being different brightnesses and that bothered them. All it is this one is dirty because it's been on there for 8 months. So this one's clouded up with dirt and that diffuses the light more. And then this one is perfectly clean. But they are the exact same bulb, exact same glass. So they're the same brightness. It's just that this one is dirty.
With this car has taught me so many new skills that I just wouldn't have learned otherwise. And at the end of the day, isn't that what a good project is all about? Thank you for your time. One last thing, while I was working on this project, I got distracted for a few days and cut the fenders. I cut up that footage with some voiceover and put
Yeah, so there's like 22 minutes on the website.
it up on my membership site, which I'm currently soft launching. There's a handful of people from the live streams and from the Discord in there right now. If you want to help support the channel, that's the future of how I'm going to be.
Oh yeah, here's the espresso machine thing that I made. So these little pegs slot into the scale, and then this goes up and over the drip tray so you can weigh stuff while having it still drain through the bracket. That's what I was talking about earlier. Anything else fun in this shot? Nope. Oh, I finally put all the lenses here since last video, so this is stocked now. Top camera needs to go in. That's about it.
Be able to keep doing this weekly. First link in the description and the pinned comment. It's just evanmonsma.com. But if you like the content and want to throw me a couple dollars to help me keep going, there's some extra footage on there for you. I appreciate y'all. I'll be live streaming tomorrow.
Whoa, that's me. He's talking about me. He said I'll live stream tomorrow, and that's me right now. Wow. What motivates you to continue to share your journey into the living that you chose? Fun. because it's fun. And just, being able to impact other people in any way is pretty cool. Because it's out of normal society need. Yeah, I guess the motivation is like, I wish this is what normal society was. Like,
Friday.
I wish more people would work on their own stuff and fix stuff, because it's like, it's not hard. And this is, like, I don't know, some of the crazy customization stuff is bonkers, but like, if I can inspire somebody to change their own oil instead of taking it to the shop, or trying to fix something in their house, like, that's all of it for me. Yeah, that's my motivation, is reminding people that stuff is doable. It wasn't too long ago that it was expected that everybody would maintain and do all the maintenance for their own cars, and cars were made in a way that everybody could fix every part of it themselves. And I wish that was the case now. So just trying to spread a culture of being a capable person, That's the motivation. Yep, I just don't know most of the things I try to fix, but I do it anyways. Word. That is exactly the thing. WBEV, man. Hell yeah. Except BMWs. Yes, exactly. I think that's a wrap for the stream today. I'm pretty hungry. And I'm not at the point yet where I can eat on stream. I don't know how people go for 8 hours and just munch down on some food while reacting to other people's content. I'll eat my words one day when I start doing that, but for now, that's all for me. Thanks y'all for hanging out. Expect another video next week that will either be studio upgrades or a camera rig, most likely. Yeah, that's it. All right. Peace, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. See you next stream. It's a shame, but have a good lunch. Dinner here. It's 8:45 p.m., man. Gonna get some dinner and then some beer with some pals. If you're in Indianapolis, come to the Roberts Camera tent sale tomorrow. I'll be there. See you. Bye night. See ya. Thanks, everybody. It's fun. I'll give more of a... I need to start putting up community posts like a day ahead of time with the plans for when I'm going to stream. I'd you on your website if you weren't so tall. I don't know what that means. Almost 3 a.m. here for me. Damn. Where are you at? Europe or something? All right, I'll stop stalling. Peace, everybody.